Get started then. You guys ready? Hi you guys, this is Rachel here, the Modern Shaman. Thanks for being with me for another YouTube video of the week. Like always, I would love to invite you to my website if you haven't checked it out yet. It's themodernshaman.net. I just recently revamped it. It got a new look and a rebirth, and it's super easy to use. I just wanted it to be straightforward and very user-friendly, and it is. And there's a lot of resources on there for you to either connect with me one-on-one if you would like a session, and if you would like to continue to learn more. My masterclass is available, whether you purchase the entirety of the masterclass, which is 44 individual video modules with handouts and PDFs and exercises, meditations, guided shamanic journeys, all sorts of activities. Or whether you purchase some of the video learning modules one by one. You can do it either way. As well as my spiritual entrepreneur program. For those of you guys who have been watching these videos forever and you're like, I'm ready to do this and I'm ready to support the world with my gifts. If that's you, then I would encourage you to go to my website, click on the teaching, and then go through the portal for the spiritual entrepreneur program. There's a great discount too if you want to do both of those together. And honestly, I feel like that's part of my life's purpose, to get that material out and accessible to humankind. So I will always encourage you to go there. And even if you've done it before, I had some people that have taken the classes when I did the lecture series and the workshops in person. They've taken it 4 or 5 times, always getting something new, because every time you do a meditation or a shamanic journey, Spirit has something new for you. It's alive. It is a living connection that you have with non-physical. So anyways, I would just encourage you to see where your heart wants to lead you and connect with me in any way, shape, or form outside of just the YouTube. Although YouTube is a beautiful blessing in itself. It is a gift and a labor of love, and I love connecting with you guys that way. All right, so here's the question for today. And this one came in through my website. It says, hi Rachel, I love your videos so much. I've told so many people about you. I am an artist and I often feel that my footprint on this earth is small. I can tell that the world is shifting and sometimes things feel like there's so much change and I feel so insignificant to help. How can I better influence during this shift that we're going through on the planet? Okay. Man, you know what? When I read your question, my first just automatic response to you is that you are profoundly underestimating the power of an artist. Musicians, artists, those people that run botanical gardens, these are so powerfully influential on the vibration of everyone on this planet. Music. Think about how easy it is to shift your mood, your energetic current, the vibration of output that you're putting out, your mood, your emotions, your energetic charge as a person, just by listening to a song, a particular piece of music. It is so powerful to synchronize our energetic output as our own energetic field and our own electromagnetic power source that we are, if we're talking in psychic terms here, or energetic terms. And if you are looking to up-level the vibration of this planet, you do it one person at a time, listening to music, looking at that beautiful art piece that you've made. It can elicit emotions without language, without relationship to that person, just literal vibration to vibration. The colors, even just colors, or maybe you are a florist making flowers. I mean, I can't even tell you, I'm so grateful for florists. That is my easy, happy. And I like put it in my grocery budget. I'm like, that keeps me happy to keep flowers and color in my like new freshness of what is, what's in season, what like new flowers that are coming up, that I just love it. The same with food. Those that are artisans of food and things that we intake and things that we visually intake. So don't underestimate that, okay? If I can just supercharge you up with the power of the artist, I am so grateful. I need to do a post about that, because literally, I can't tell you how many times I say that in my head during the day. Like, thank you, Lord, for the musician who came up with this song. And I often don't even know who it is. But I'll be listening to Spotify, or my kids finally switched me over, y'all. I was like ancient listening to Pandora, and when Pandora started doing ads all the time, or you had to pay for it, I was like, I'm not paying for this. So then my son was like, Mom, you're like so old, nobody listens to Pandora. And I was like, okay, fix me up, shift me into the new modern era. So anyway, Spotify may not even be that new anymore, but I switched over. And when it gives me a little mix of the day and I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, this is my quick way to shift my energy into joy, into happiness. Having it on when the kids are doing homework, shifting and easily moving myself into a vibration that I can calibrate based on frequency and sound and vibration. This is a very, very purposed job. Maybe it's not valued enough in our current culture, but from the spiritual perspective, it is incredibly valued. And the precision with which we can do sound healings, I mean, they're healing us whether we know it or not, sound is, or it's bringing us down. You can go either direction, right, with frequencies. So anyways, don't forget that. Let me look back at your question. I feel like I started to rant on that. So how can you be a better influence on this shift? I will give you the simple and to the point answer, but it is incredibly true. And this has been true through any era, through any culture, through any timeline that humans have been present on this earth. It is very simple. If we want to make this world a better place, if we want to move humanity into a positive change, if we want to have an impact, you know what I'm going to say, right? You be kind, you be good, you be righteous, you align with laughter, with joy, with compassion, with gentleness, all positive aspects of your own heart, and then you amplify those out to those around you. So anytime you see good, you amplify it. Anytime you watch a movie that's good, that's celebrating goodness, or a documentary that's finding good things that are good. Anytime there's wonder, beauty, positive, just simple things like that in your daily life. But if you make it routine, if you make it part of what is your normal, this has more impact than getting on a podium and telling everyone some shift is about to happen and you've got to change your life or you're screwed. That's fear, and that causes many different reactions, and retreating and anger and all sorts of reactions in people. Maybe some positive reactions, but for the most part, it doesn't. It's the simple, continuous acts from your heart and your mind. These are also acts of kindness and gentleness and compassion to yourself. This is simply the act itself. And any religion will tell you that. Any culture that has a sense of ethics will tell you that. Working at first with yourself, right? Getting those parts of you to brood inside of yourself, and then simply doing. And I would challenge you to make it part of your to-do list. If you're not used to doing that, if you're used to being in survival mode, You've been in trauma, you've been having to survive, and we've all been there. There's no judgment. I myself have been there at times where, you know what, I had, 4 family members die within a 6-month period, or something where there's just a lot of catastrophe and trauma in your life, and you're just doing your best to get through the day, okay? No judgment. We've all been there. But when we are coming out and needing help to self-love or to care for ourselves or for others, put it on a list, smack it in your mirror. I love sticky notes. I'm like a total mom about it. And I love seeing them on my makeup mirror to where it's like right in front of my face where I cannot ignore it. I'll see it, and I have to even like look around it to look at myself or to put on, mascara or something. So I make it to where I can't miss it, okay? Do something like that for yourself that says, it's an action. Give someone a compliment today. Don't make it vague, like do one piece of kindness. I mean, I don't know what that kindness is. Give yourself an actionable that has something to do. When I'm walking my daughter to school in the morning, I often say, what's one thing you're going to do today that's a kindness towards others? Maybe, and then she has to come up with it. It has to be different each time. So one morning, like this morning, she said, I'm going to help the librarian before school. I'm just going to go in and ask her if she needs help, like organizing books or something. And I was like, great. Or sometimes she'll say, I'm going to ask someone if they want to share something from my lunch, whatever it is. One little actionable. Give yourself that sticky note and make it something that you're doing. When you are doing simple things like that, this is how we literally shift and change the world. This is how we raise the vibration on the planet. Okay? Just one person at a time with the consistency of that vibration. It is like a ripple, and the consistency of it will continue to ripple out. And before I go, let me give you one other thing. And that is, don't fall prey to the belief that this world is a bad world, or that everything is going to hell in a handbasket, or every generation is worse than the last. There's no reason to think that. Or that, I have so many fears for my kids because things are just getting worse. We just have a lot of propaganda towards that. But remember, you get to view your life. You get to create it. You get to make your own stories. You get to tell. You are your own news broadcasting system. You tell your own news. You tell the stories of your own life. Your children tell the stories of their life. But as a individual, you get to pick and choose how you tell those stories, how you view those stories, and your belief in something will make it real to you. Right? We know this from lie detector tests that can literally have 2 people seeing the same event, telling telling 2 different stories, and both are lie detected as true because they fully believe wholeheartedly in alignment with what they're saying. So here's the deal. My perspective, from a psychic perspective, that remote views outside of this planet and views it just from an omniscient perspective, and you can do this yourself. Those of you that are, sorry, the video keeps slowly tilting because I'm so active with my gestures. I'm so gestural. But anyways, let me just say that when I remote view, when I'm outside of my body and kind of viewing the planet and almost like taking a temperature gauge, it is not all bad, you guys. We are beautifully moving into a new season of life. Remember that death cycles are not negative. When things deteriorate, when things die out, they shift form and they change. And they take on a new life, a new body, a new consciousness. And so when the leaves fall during this season, at least right here in Texas, we don't mourn them as like, oh my gosh, everything's just, going to hell in a handbag and everything's horrible and things are just, everybody hates everybody. You know, we don't mourn it like that. We know that spring is going to come, that new life, new leaves will come, that new growth will come from the deterioration of the old systems. So when we see our financial system struggling, when we see our education system struggling, when we see our global system struggling, let that be okay. Let that be like the leaves falling from the trees that are going to be rebirthed into a new and better system. And wholeheartedly believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that too. Maybe I'm just I would rather be an optimist because I'd rather live the soul of an optimist. That is a much more enjoyable life in my perspective. But I'm being honest with you. Even when like I said, when I remote view and I kind of take the temperature of where the earth is, the media is portraying what makes money. We all know this. What makes the headlines, what makes people watch, right? Drama. But the truth of that death cycle is that something will be reborn, and all of the acts of goodness and kindness and righteousness and compassion and joy and laughter that we put into each other will make this world better. It just does. It just does. Sometimes it sits under the soil longer and the soil is muddy and nasty and we don't see it for a while. And other times it sprouts right up and we see that change. Either way, it's doing its job and you can trust that. It's just the nature of the positive. It births something new. So be encouraged. And my kindness, or my advice to you, my kindness to you, I guess it is in a way, is to remember that you are impacting. Don't minimalize your impact, especially as an artisan. That is vibrational power right there. And then just continue to be kind, to be good to yourself and to others. Every religion will tell you that. Every culture with ethics will tell you that. It's everywhere you look. You don't even have to have language to do it. A smile will do it. A gesture will do it. A hug will do it. A laugh, you know? This is a fun video. I love you guys. We'll be back here next week with another one. Stay tuned.